Our final map of the afternoon, evening, depending on your time zone, is going to be Triton. In the top left, as the Red Terran from the Platinum Heroes, taking down the Renegade. It's Ris3n. And in the bottom right corner, as the ace for Risen Amateur, it's the Blue Zerg, GTKung. There's a playoff spot on the line. The score is tied 3-3. I think Triton, a pretty even match between the Zerg and the Terran. GTKung going for a 16 hatch. Lee is going for a Reaper expand. Sorry, I can't say Ris3n. Ris3n every time. We're gonna call him Lee. Which is gonna take it? Is it gonna be the Eagle or the Phoenix? Very last game of VTL season 6. Oh my god, is it season 5? Oh, way to ruin the effect. GTKung, the quick third hatch. Second barracks underway for Ris3n. Reactor on the first one. Second gas in the main. Reaper getting ready to scout. 4 defensive links here for GTKung. Now he's going to have to micro those links exceptionally well, because these 2 queens are going to be delayed. It looks like Lee might get a drone kill. Oof. No drone kills. He still has a window to get damage. As you can see, second queen just started. This does also leave GTKung vulnerable to Hellion play, but given that there's 2 racks and a factory just hitting the field, it's going to be a tech lab on the second barracks as well. I think he might be going into Marine tank again. Saving the Reaper. Pumping out Marines. This is going to be a reactor on the factory. The starport pops should switch off for that. It looks like we have a 2-1-1 on our hands. ET sending the 4 initial links to take the Xel'Naga. Picking off the Reaper. GT with an advantage to start is going into Lair. Up 32 workers to 29. He did get that third hatch up a little bit early. Is going to start reaping the rewards of those extra larvae quite soon. Banking a little bit of larva now, actually. The count continues to rise for the Red Terran. Factory gonna be part of the wall off. No Hellion harass though. Zerg has a chance to shoot up an economy if he so wishes. Double Evo chamber for GTKung. Taking a couple extra defensive lings, just in case of Hellion attack. Don't think he scouted this yet, though. Two medevacs picking up, heading straight for the main of GTKung. He's down About 10 army supply right now. 12 more Lings about to pop. Banelings morphing in. Now, the drop's going to hit a little bit before the Banelings morph in. Baneling speed also will not be a fact. Oh, I mean, okay, well, that changes everything. He's waiting to go in. There's no reason to wait to go in. Lee needs to go in now. Banelings are finished. Baneling speed inching closer to completion as well. GT a little bit out of position to deflect this, but gonna see the Medivacs with the Overlord immediately pulls the Ling Bane to the main. The drop has begun, but Ling's all over it. Spore Crawler gets a lot of shots off on that Medivac. The Queen could target it down. Marines falling one by one. Nice Baneling connections. Very clean hold from GTKung, but Lee drops a Marine on a Baneling on the way out, making it a little bit more worthwhile. Lee down 10 army supply, worker count relatively even. ET has that third base, so pretty much even economy for both players. +1 as well as combat shields for the Terran. 1-1 not started up yet though for the Zerg despite the early Evo chambers. GTKung going for a massive Ling flood. And this is looking like somewhat of a repeat of the Renegade game. There are 3 siege tanks in position, only one of them sieged, but don't know that GTKung wants to go in here. 6 drones on the way as well. Three racks in production for GT. All the tanks unsieged! GTKung could go in! This could be a massacre. He's gonna back off, though. He's actually attacking the rocks. Does see the Medivacs here. Medivacs now over creep. ET still going after the rocks. I mean, these tanks are unsieged. There's not a ton of Marines. GT finally going to pull for the wraparounds. Lee sees this with the Medivacs, though. Morphing in Banelings. Tank 1 is sieged. Tanks 2 and 3 about to. Oh, a lot of Lings go down to this. 22 more Lings and 4 Mutalisks on the way for the Red Zerg. Looks like he's engaging on creep. Lee picks up, gonna retreat to the safety of the tanks. Lee continuing to stream Marine tank across the map. Not really continuing Medivac production, though. Muta's going to possibly pick off a Medivac. There are a couple low health ones. Tanks putting in work from the high ground, but the Marines do get cleaned up, and that means the Mutas alone will... well, here come the reinforcements. Okay, that changes things a little bit. 24 army supply to 55 in favor of the Terran. 12 more Lings, 3 more Mutas hitting the field for GT. He's not out of this yet. He did throw down an additional hatch behind this, but the third will fall. Lee not relenting with this 2-base push. Banelings get huge collections with the Marines. There's not a ton of them left, and that means these Mutas might be able to clean up the tanks, but here come the reinforcements. The Medivacs will be able to heal them, which means they will be able to repel the Mutalisks. 4 more going to hit the map for GTKung. That could change the equation, but the Natural now under siege. The drones are pulled to fight with the Mutas, taking care of the Marines as the tanks kind of help out the Zerg, but there's still 3. 1 Muta does go down. However, I think GTKung might hold. There's a lot more Marines coming, though. He needs to take care of these Medivacs. They're going to pick up the tanks. One of the tank Medivacs goes down. Tankovacs, if you will. Stem forward from these Marines. Going to clean up at least 1 Mutalisk. No. GT, Micro's back. It's still a 3-base Zerg, but Lee has landed his 3rd orbital. Getting another couple Banelings, 22 more Lings hitting the map. Oof. There are only 2 tanks left to anchor this push. GT needs to push out, take care of the Marines, take care of the tanks. He's going to go after the tanks, actually, and that means the 3rd will get picked off. Lee in a very, very, very good position. Ooh, Banelings even take an extra tank shot. Moving in, another stim. ET being very, very careful. But the Terran up 67 workers to 31. Banelings get huge connections. The Muta is going to push forward, once again take care of all the Marines, once again go after the medevacs, but the rest of the creeps are coming across. It feels like I'm watching a Dota 2 match. It's just creep equilibrium. The Muta catapults of GTKung going to be pushed back as the Marine or medevac minions push back toward the natural. GTKung is contained. More Banelings, more Lings on the way. Lee still ahead in army supply. Still continuing to put pressure on the Zerg. GTKung pushing out. He needs to go for the kill if he wants any chance of winning this game. Marines dropping out one at a time, but that means the Mutas will be able to take care of them. All the medevacs going down, a couple coming to reinforce, but I think the creep equilibrium is in GTKung's favor. He needs to go, though. The Terran building a 4th CC against a 2-base Zerg. A lot of the mineral patches in the main are mined out. The natural is soon to follow. And Lee is going to be able to set up a defense here. Missile turrets up at the 3rd. But GTKung going after the rocks. It's going in. There's not a ton of Banelings, so he backs out. Terran on such a huge economy. 70 workers to 30. Plus mules. Plus a 4th orbital. About to complete. Well, the CC. It will be an orbital. Maybe a planetary. Who knows? Who knows? Concussive shells, plus 3 weapons on the way for the Terran as well. The Zerg stuck on 1-1. GTKung playing his heart out. Playing for Ris3n's spot in the finals. Can he find a miracle? Can he find a way to turn this around? Lee doesn't want that to happen. He's loading up a medevac. It's going around to the main. A lot of Banelings for GTKung. We have seen Lee not trade very effectively against the Banelings. He doesn't really split. He just kind of takes it to the face. He's pushing in creep. Gonna get the scan. It's gonna be a while before that creep goes down, though. GTKung needs to roll in with the Banelings. Can he get the connections he needs? He does! Only a couple Marines split off. The Banelings getting very nice trades. Lee is going into the main as well. The medevac taking quite a few sport crawler shots. And it's gonna go down with a lot of the Marines. Only 3 drop. The Queen can take care of that. SCV is going on the attack at the 3rd now. And this Marine column will get picked off as well. Is this the beginning of a comeback for GTKung? I mean, it's a very uphill battle. The SCV is going after the extractor. Actually, Lings clean up the Marines in the main. 80 workers, 230. GT needs to go in for the kill. This 4-base Terran with a planetary is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger the longer time goes on. He's going for a wave of drones, 5 drones, going to make him only down 40 workers. But I mean, 52 army supply, 278, and another Marine push out, this time with only 2 medevacs and only 1 tank. If GTKung gets another wave of Baneling connections, call me crazy, he might be able to turn this around. He's going after the planetary, though, and this is looking like a repeat of the first push out. There are no overlords to spot this. He does see the scans go down, but doesn't necessarily know what angle the Terran's coming from. 2 Banelings do get picked off by a group of Marines, but GTKung going into the 3rd. He might get the kill, but Lee is going to get the kill on GTKung's 3rd. Once again, oh, GT backs out, moves to defend. It will be too late to save this base. GT once again on 2 bases, looking to get Baneling connections on creep. Lee is going into the natural. 2 tanks broadsiding the remaining Ling Bane of GT. Banelings move in. They get great connections. More move in. Huge numbers of Marines get cleaned up, but it's not enough. GG, and Lee takes the series 4-3 for the Platinum Heroes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your caster today, Renegade. Congratulations to the Platinum Heroes.